Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Hare His Holiness Nrsimha Maharaj ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, can you hear us?
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
So can I begin?
Guru Maharaj.
Can I begin?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Kyananchana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as tomorrow is the appearance day of Sri Advaita Acharya, I wanted to speak something about the glories of Advaita Acharya this afternoon. So Advaita Acharya is one of the Panchatattva, of course. He's the senior most member of the Panchatattva. When you see the Panchatattva, Advaita Acharya is the one with the grey hair and the beard. So he's much elder to the other members of the Panchatattva. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared at that time, Advaita Acharya was already about 60 years old. Before the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya felt very...
Recording in progress.
Advaita Acharya felt very disturbed to see the condition of the planet, how so many people were worshipping demigods and doing all kinds of worship of different gods and goddesses for material benefit. Practically there was no where there was pure devotion being practiced or taught. And Advaita Acharya, he is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, and sometimes said also Sadashiva. So he is Acharya, and he wanted very much to see pure devotion established on the planet. So Advaita Acharya, he thought about how to deliver the world, and he considered that the situation on the planet was so bad that unless the Lord personally comes, the situation will never be changed. And then Advaita Acharya was studying the scriptures, and he came across a verse which said that the Lord is purchased by someone who offers tulsi leaves along with some water of the Ganga. So Advaita Acharya's residence is in Shantipur. And Shantipur, it's, if you go to Mayapur, if you're coming from Calcutta and you're going to Mayapur, you pass on the way Shantipur. It's about 1 hour's drive away from Mayapur. And Shantipur is a nice village. So Advaita Acharya's residence was there. It's still there. Advaita Acharya's residence, his descendants are still living there today. And they have a temple there. And they have a nice place there, which honors the place where Advaita Acharya met. Because Advaita Acharya, when he was living there, sometimes Lord Chaitanya and sometimes also Lord Nityananda would also come there. And they would meet with Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya, he was living in Shantipur, and the Ganga was flowing there at that time. Today the Ganga has moved quite a bit away from there, but in the times of Advaita Acharya, 500 years ago, the Ganga was flowing past his door. So Advaita Acharya offered Ganga water along with tulsi leaves, and at the same time he called out to the Lord, and he requested the Lord, please come, please come, please come. And he called loudly to the Lord, requesting the Lord to come. So Advaita Acharya, he is given the credit for bringing the Lord here to this world. Although Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, he considered himself unable to deliver the world. And he prayed that the Lord would personally come, the Supreme Lord. He said, you have to come. He said, I cannot do it. The situation is so bad. The population is so fallen that unless you come yourself, they cannot be delivered. And so it was like this, that Advaita Acharya was able to invoke the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come. And Lord Krishna came in his most merciful form. He appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya, we said he has his residence in Shantipur, but he also has a residence in Mayapur. Mayapur is at the center of Navadvip. And 500 years ago, Navadvip was the center of learning. There were many, many brahmanas and learned pundits and scholars all there. And Advaita Acharya also had a residence there in Mayapur. And we see when we go to Mayapur, when you go to the Yoga Pith, and you see the actual birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then it's not very far away to the residence of Advaita Acharya. The second residence, that is. His main residence was at Shantipur, But sometimes he would also come to Mayapur because so many pandits, so many scholars are there. So Advaita Acharya, he was the head of all the pandits and scholars. So he would also come there to Mayapur. And he was a friend, he and Advaita Acharya's good wife, Sita Thakurani, they were close friends of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. And when Sachimata gave birth to the child, then they also came to see the child. And they were very happy to see Mother Sachi's son. Initially, of course, they did not know that this is the Lord, that He's actually come, but different auspicious omens and signs indicated that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, was actually Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna, coming in his most merciful form to portray the pastimes of the Lord in the Kali Yuga. The Lord comes in the Kali Yuga. One of the reasons why he comes is to inaugurate the Yuga Dharma, the process for religion in the Kali Yuga, which is the chanting of the holy names, the Sankirtan movement. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from his very birth, he actually indicated the chanting of the holy names. It said the baby would cry so long as the ladies did not chant the holy name. The only way they could get the baby to stop crying was when the ladies would start to have kirtan. And when they would have kirtan, then the child would be happy. And there were other auspicious omens also. For example, Mother Sachi, she was carrying the child in her womb for a period of much longer than was usual for a woman. Usually a woman could deliver the child within 9 or 10 months. But Mother Sachi had been carrying the child in her womb. It was, I think, 14 months before she delivered the child. And her father, Sachimata's father, was Nilambar Chakravarti. He was a learned astrologer. So when he consulted the positions of the stars, he saw that there's a very auspicious time coming up. So Nilambar Chakravarti predicted that this child is a great soul, and he's waiting for the auspicious period to come to take his birth. And so it was like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his birth and on the Gaur Purnima, what we call the Gaur Purnima day, which is also called Holi. And it was on that auspicious day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented. And Advaita Acharya, when he heard that Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra had been blessed with a son, then they also came there. They wanted to see the child, and they brought also gifts and offerings. And they were happy to see the nice child born to Sachimata. So, as I said, Advaita Acharya was much older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Advaita Acharya, he suspected that this child of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, that this could be the child who is the answer to my prayers. Because Advaita Acharya wanted so much that the Lord would come. And he suspected that this child could be, because he saw in the body of the child all auspicious signs in the body of the Lord. And he was suspicious that this child could be the one to answer my prayers. And of course, as the child grew up, he performed many wonderful pastimes. And Advaita Acharya became more and more convinced that this child is the Lord himself, and he has come to deliver the message of Lord Krishna to the world. So Advaita Acharya would always respect Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would respect Advaita Acharya. Advaita wanted to offer respect to the young child, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would come and he would bow down to Advaita and he would touch the feet of Advaita. And in this way, Advaita Acharya would become very disturbed because he thought, he's the Lord and he's worshipping me. I want to worship him. So it became a problem that Advaita Acharya did not want this child giving him so much respect. Therefore, Advaita Acharya thought how to make him angry. So Advaita Acharya decided he would start to preach something which was against the teaching of the Vaishnavas. And he got a book called Yoga Vasishta. And this Yoga Vasishta book, it preaches a lot about impersonal liberation. And it describes Sayujya Mukti as being the goal of life. And so Advaita Acharya began to lecture on that. And he was preaching about the goal of life is liberation, and we believing what he was preaching, but he was doing it just to anger.
Guru Maharaj,
Yes, Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay, we'll try again. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very angry at Advaita Acharya for preaching this impersonal philosophy. And Mahaprabhu came all the way from Mayapur, he came all the way to Shantipur. It's a good distance. It must be about 100 kilometers. Oh, no, it couldn't be. Yeah, it could be what? How many kilometers? Well, at least 40 kilometers. And he came all the way from Mayapur to Shantipur, and he came to the house of Advaita Acharya, and he picked up Advaita Acharya, threw him on the ground and began to hit him. And as he hit him, he said, "You rascal," he said, "you woke me up." Mahaprabhu said to Advaita, he said, "I was resting peacefully in the spiritual world, and you woke me up to come here, and now you're preaching this Mayavadi philosophy. How you can do like this? This is a disgrace. You're preaching this nonsense philosophy. It's against all religious principles." And he was beating Advaita Acharya. And at that time, Advaita Acharya's wife became very worried. And she came running and she pleaded with Lord Chaitanya, "Oh, please don't kill my husband. Oh, please don't beat him. He's an old man. Oh, please." And in this way, Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita, she petitioned Lord Chaitanya not to be so physical in assaulting her husband. So Advaita, actually, he was very happy. He was relishing it. He thought, this is what I wanted. He said, usually he's so respectful to me. Usually he's always touching my feet. But now he's beating me. He said, this is what I want. I don't want him to respect me. And so Advaita was very pleased that the Lord had become so angry with him. And he'd not shown him any more respect. So that was one pastime with Advaita Acharya. Another important pastime was concerning Mother Sachi. That Mother Sachi, you see, she had two sons. There was an older brother of Lord Chaitanya named Vishwarup. And Vishwarup, as a young man, he used to go to the home of Advaita. As I said, Advaita Acharya had a house near to the home of Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra. So Vishwarup, their oldest son, he would regularly go to the home of Advaita. And Advaita would be there reading his Shastra and preaching to him. So after some time it happened that Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra decided that now Vishwarup's old enough to become married. We should find a nice girl for him and arrange his marriage. So when Vishwarup heard this, he decided it was time to leave home. He didn't want to enter into family life. And he left home. And he never came back. And after some time they heard that Vishwarup had taken sannyas, entered the renounced order of life. So Sachi Mata particularly was very sorry that her son had gone away as a young man and taken the renounced order of life. Anyway, after some time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving mercy to all the devotees. And he would call the different devotees one after another, and he would give them blessings that they would all get love of God. But then the devotees said to Lord Chaitanya, "What about Mother Sachi? You should also bless Mother Sachi." But Lord Chaitanya told the devotees, No, I cannot give love of God to my mother because she's an offender of pure devotees. So the devotees were all very shocked. They said, "What? Mother Sachi offended pure devotees? She's the Divine Mother. You're going to give blessings to everyone and you're not going to give mercy to your own mother?" And Mahaprabhu told them again, he said, "No, I cannot give to my mother because she's offended pure devotees. She committed an offense against Advaita Acharya." And the devotees were puzzled. They said, "What? Mother Sachi? What did she do to offend Advaita Acharya?" And Lord Chaitanya explained that when my elder brother took sannyas, at that time my mother blamed Advaita Acharya because she knew that my elder brother was regularly going to the home of Advaita and hearing the Shastra from him. So she could understand that her son, Vishwarup, was influenced by the preaching of Advaita Acharya. And when she wanted to arrange the marriage of her son, he left home. He didn't wait. He just left home. He didn't want to get married. He went off and became a sannyasi. Never came home again. So Mother Sachi, within her mind, she thought that it's because of Advaita Acharya that he's influenced my son. So Lord Chaitanya considered that his mother was an offender of pure devotees. In this way, Lord Chaitanya is teaching all of us the importance of dealing very carefully with devotees and not offending anyone. Anyway, the devotees, they arranged to bring Advaita Acharya, and they also brought Mother Sachi. And at one point, Advaita Acharya, he was saying, no, Mother Sachi could never offend me. She is a very saintly lady. She's the Divine Mother. She could not commit any offense against me. And he became so ecstatic at one point, he fainted. So when he fainted, then the devotees told Mother Sachi, quick, now you go take the dust from his feet, and in this way you'll be relieved of any offense. So Mother Sachi came forward and took the dust from the feet of Advaita. while he was while he was unconscious, while he was swooned. And in this way, Mother Sachi became relieved from her offense. So Advaita Acharya, in this way, performed wonderful pastimes. He's involved in many pastimes. Another interesting pastime which happened with Advaita was concerning his secretary. Advaita Acharya had one secretary named Kamalakanta Vishwasa. So Kamalakanta Vishwasa, he wrote a message one time, and he wrote a message saying, Advaita Acharya is the personality of Godhead, and he is in debt the sum of 30 rupees. So that message, it was meant to be given to the king, Maharaj Prataparudra of Puri. Kamalakanta Vishwasa thought that the king can liquidate that debt for Advaita Acharya. So he wrote that message, but somehow that message fell into the hands of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Lord Chaitanya got that message, then Lord Chaitanya became happy. He said, it's very good that he has recognized Advaita Acharya as the personality of Godhead. And Lord Chaitanya said, certainly he is. So this is correct. But, he said, he's committed a great offense because he said that he's in debt, the sum of 30 rupees, which in those days was a significant amount. Nowadays, of course, it's nothing, but in those 500 years ago, it was much more. So, Lord Chaitanya said, this is an offense. To say that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then to say that he is in debt, how can it be? He is the Supreme Lord. How could he be in debt? And so Lord Chaitanya said, this Kamalakanta Vishwasa has committed a great offense. He said, he should not come in my association again. I don't want to see his face. So when Advaita Acharya heard this, Advaita Acharya came to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and protested. And he said to Lord Chaitanya, he said, why are you giving my secretary more mercy than the mercy you gave me? And Lord Chaitanya looked at Advaita and was a little puzzled. Then Advaita Acharya explained, he said, when I preached the Yoga Vashishta, you were very angry and you came and beat me, but you never banned me from your association. He said, my secretary, Kamalakanta Vishwasa, he has said that I'm in debt, and this is an offense, because he says that on one hand he says I'm God, on the other hand he said I'm in debt. And you want to ban him from your association. He said, you're giving him more mercy than I got, because your punishment of him is greater than the punishment you gave me. So Lord Chaitanya looked at Advaita Acharya and smiled and said, all right, he could understand the mind of Advaita Acharya. And so Lord Chaitanya said, bring this Kamalakanta Vishwasa here. And so they brought Kamalakanta Vishwasa in to the midst. And Lord Chaitanya then instructed him and all the devotees that you must be very careful, particularly about taking money from materialistic people. That if you take money from materialistic people for your own means, then certainly you will incur their sinful reactions. Just like we are very careful about where we take food. we don't want to take food from materialistic people. Because if we take food from materialistic people, then we will also be influenced by their karma. Srila Prabhupada was very worried about devotees, and he said, you can take uncut fruit. The fruit should not be cut, because already cut, they may have used a knife which has already been contaminated by cutting animal flesh. So he said, you can only accept uncut fruit from people who are not devotees. And so similarly, Lord Chaitanya told Kamalakanta Vishwasa, you must be very careful about who you request to give money and who you want to give funds. You want to liquidate the debt of Advaita Acharya, but you're asking the king to pay the money, and the king is a materialistic person. So you want to take funds from him and use it for Advaita Acharya. Certainly there will be some karmic reactions. And Lord Chaitanya told Kamalakanta Vishwasa, and in this way he told all the devotees, you must be very careful about taking things from other people. Because when you take something from them, then you take also some karmic reactions. In this way, Lord Chaitanya was instructing Kamalakanta Vishwasa and all the devotees in proper dealings. What is the proper behavior, standard of behavior for devotees? So we know Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas at the age of 24 and left Mayapur and went to Jagannath Puri. Of course, he was traveling around the world, around India for some 6 years, and then 18 years he spent residing in Jagannath Puri. So Advaita Acharya, he would come there to Jagannath Puri along with the devotees. Usually it would be Shivananda Sen would lead all the devotees, and Advaita Acharya would also come with them. They would walk all the way from Shantipur and from Mayapur, and they'd walk all the way to Jagannath Puri, and they would be there in Puri for Rath Yatra, and they would spend several months there during the rainy season to be with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the holy land of Jagannath Puri. Advaita Acharya would enjoy taking part in the Rath Yatra festivals and joining in the kirtan and chanting and dancing along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Advaita Acharya, he is the Acharya. Acharya meaning one who teaches by example. So Advaita Acharya taught by his example how to properly act in Krishna consciousness. And he was completely, Advaita, he was completely fixed on worship of Lord Krishna. He did not worship others, he simply worshipped the Supreme Lord Krishna. Advaita Acharya was a family man. He had a family, he had 6 sons, actually, 6 sons. And he tried his best to raise his sons to be devotees. 3 were very good devotees. His oldest son was called Achyutananda. And Achyutananda was a very great devotee, and he had enjoyed very nice pastimes with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Another son, he had a pastime with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when they were cleaning the Gundicha temple. Every year the devotees would go there to Jagannath Puri and they would spend time to clean the Gundicha temple for the Jagannath deities to come. And Advaita and Lord Chaitanya and everyone would all take part in the cleaning of Gundicha temple. So one day while they were cleaning, Lord Chaitanya requested one of the sons, Advaita Gopal, that he should. And when he began to chant and dance. At one point, somehow Gopal collapsed and fell unconscious. And the devotees were very worried. They thought he's dead. They chanted the names of Lord Nrsingadev. And they tried to revive him. But it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who came, and he put his hand on his chest and he told the boy, Gopal, get up and continue chanting. And Gopal came back to consciousness and he got up and to chant. So Advaita, he was relieved. He was very worried at first to see his son collapse, but he was relieved to see him come back and chant, join in the kirtan. So Advaita Acharya played a very important part in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we said, he called the Lord to come in the beginning. He was responsible for the Lord coming here. And it was Advaita Acharya who initiated the departure of the Lord. He wrote a sonnet, he wrote a poem and sent it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that poem was like a riddle. No one could understand really the meaning. It was saying that there's already enough rice in the marketplace and there's no need to provide any more. So like this, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got this message from Advaita Acharya, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu intensified his mood of ecstatic love. Previously, he'd already been in feeling ecstasy and chanting and dancing, but after he got that message from Advaita Acharya, then his mood of ecstasy increased hundreds of times, and he became totally absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna, constantly trembling and could not speak anything but the holy name of Krishna. So it was Advaita Acharya who initiated the departure of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave him the signal that the mission is already accomplished and there's no need to remain here. So in this way, Advaita Acharya played a very major role in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of the nice things which we do every year at ISKCON, we go to Shantipur, and there's a festival which is just a couple of days before Gaur Purnima, and it's a festival in honor of the departure of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was the spiritual master of Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya also accepted as spiritual master. He took initiation from Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was a very, very great soul. And it was because of Madhavendra Puri's appearance that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took initiation in that same sampradaya, that Lord Chaitanya wanted to be connected to the line coming from Madhavendra Puri. So every year, Advaita Acharya would organize a very big festival at Shantipur in honor of his spiritual master. On the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri, Advaita Acharya would have a very big festival and he would distribute prasadam to everyone. So it happened some years ago that the people from Shantipur, they came to ISKCON and they asked the leaders of our ISKCON society, they asked like Srila Jagpataka Swami Maharaj and others, that if we could possibly reinstitute that program to have the festival every year at Shantipur. So it was arranged that the devotees would go every year. And every year we go in big buses. There's usually 20, 30, 40 buses take devotees every year to Shantipur, on the day of the disappearance of Madhavendra Puri, and the devotees will cook, and they will cook prasadam and distribute for thousands of people the whole day. And it's said that anybody who gets prasadam on that day, or anyone who helps cook prasadam, or anyone who helps serve prasadam, that they will all get love of God just by being involved in that, in the service of taking prasadam and distributing prasadam, cooking the prasadam. So it's a very big festival. Every year, devotees like to go there to Shantipur, and we hear the glories of Shantipur, and we also distribute prasadam to lakhs and lakhs of people. Advaita Acharya liked so much to see the prasadam distributed to people there. Actually, Srila Prabhupada also had a lot of respect for Shantipur, and at one point, Srila Prabhupada was even thinking to make the headquarters of ISKCON in Shantipur. He thought it would be a very nice place to have our ISKCON center. And Srila Prabhupada himself used to go there to the temple in Shantipur. Before he went to America, he would go there. The pujari there from the temple at Shantipur, he remembered how he used to see this man come, and the man was in, he said initially he saw him in khadi, in white khadi, and he would come to the temple and he would spend the whole day there chanting the holy name, and chanting the holy name, and he would be shedding tears. And then he said after some time, he didn't see him anymore. But then, after what happened, he saw the man again, but this time, now he'd become a sannyasi. He was no more in the white, but he was in saffron robes of a sannyasi. And he's understood it was the same man who used to come, and he said as a sannyasi, he came again, and he was chanting there, he was chanting the holy name, and this way he was relishing the holy place of Shantipur. And then the pujari said he had spoke to him, and he asked the sannyasi about what's wrong, what's going on, what are you doing? And Prabhupada, he was the sannyasi, he said to the pujari, he said, well, I've been given this mission, and it is impossible. And the pujari said, what mission? He said, I have to go to America, I have to go to the West, and I have to take the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world, and it's impossible. And I've just come here to chant and to beg for the mercy of Advaita Acharya in this holy place. So the man never thought any more about it. He thought, he thought very wishful thinking, very difficult to do something like that. But anyway, that was just one day it happened. And then then he never saw the man again. But some years later, then he got a magazine. And he got a magazine, and he saw in the magazine, and he saw this Back to Godhead magazine, and he saw the man who he used to see, who used to come to the Shantipur temple. So Srila Prabhupada used to come there, and he would come and chant the holy name, and he would pray to Advaita Acharya to empower him to deliver Krishna consciousness around the planet. So when the pujari saw the magazine, he understood that this man, he's been successful, that he was crying and he was lamenting that it's so difficult, it's impossible. But he actually did the impossible. He went there to the West and he brought Krishna consciousness. And now so many people are also coming and chanting the holy name. So it's a fulfillment of the desire of Advaita Acharya and the great souls. Of course, Haridas Thakur, he was also an associate of Advaita Acharya. Haridas Thakur was regularly there in Shantipur with Advaita and hearing the holy name and chanting the holy name. So it's a very special place. Advaita Acharya, a very, very great personality, and tomorrow we'll be honoring his divine appearance day. So we will stop here today. We'll ask if there's any questions. Anybody has any questions or anything? No? Okay.
His Holiness Nrsimha Maharaj ki. Do I use this one? Do I use this one? Can Maharaj hear me? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Maharaj, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
On behalf of the devotees here, we want to thank you, Maharaj, for giving us your time, for being able to give us the opportunity to hear you directly, even though you're on Zoom. Still, it's so much different hearing you and seeing you, and giving us the opportunity to hear about the glories of Advaita Acharya today, Maharaj. So we wanted to thank you very much from the Singapore congregation. And we want to inform all the devotees today that we're very grateful to Maharaj for having joined us today. Maharaj has spent so many years coming to Singapore. In fact, he started coming to Singapore very early on. Had the chance to meet him. I remember the first time I met Maharaj. I did not even I had not met Maharaj before, but one thing that struck me very much was how humble Maharaj was. He was just seated with all the devotees in a very casual way. He was not seated on a chair, on a Vyasa, but he was preaching very enthusiastically to them. And he was asking them questions about their spiritual life, and he was giving so nice answers. Then I also remember seeing Maharaj in Balakrishna Prabhu's house many years ago in a house program. And at that time also I was very struck by how much depth of knowledge Maharaj had, because he was speaking on so many appearances of the different Vaishnavas that day during that class. And he was giving us so much of nectar as he did today also. Over the years, I've also seen many devotees in Singapore have the opportunity to surrender to Maharaj and accept him as their Diksha Guru. And I have been so inspired to see how Maharaj takes care of his disciples. Many of the disciples will know and have shared with me how personal Maharaj is, how magnanimous he is with his time, and how much energy he puts into guiding them. And when disciples have been in challenging difficulties, Maharaj has personally seen how they are and inquired about them and made sure that their spiritual life was not disturbed by giving them advice and looking out for them. In this way, so many devotees and so many disciples have been inspired by Maharaj, not just as Diksha, but also on the level of Siksha. So we are very honored today to have the opportunity to hear Maharaj. We pray for Maharaj's long life and good health, and we pray that Maharaj will always continue to give us his association here. One last thing I can share is Maharaj preaches in the parts of the world where it's not very easy to preach. Places like China are not easy because it's very hard to reach out to the devotees there, and the conditions are also not easy. And yet I've met many of Maharaj's Chinese 40 disciples, and they are such an enthusiastic group. You all must have met them also either in Malaysia or in... Maharaj takes so much trouble to make sure that he has time with them and he spends time with them. So we are really honored today and just wanted to thank Maharaj very much for being with us today. I'd like to invite Mother Mohan Prabhu, who's here. Mother Mohan Prabhu, could you come forward then to say a few words also? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. Two instances that comes to mind when I always think of Narasimha Maharaj. There was a very tense situation between a few devotees. I will not get into the details, but at that point in time I was really young. So I was right at the back, but I knew that the situation was tense. And it is actually mentioned that when a pure devotee enters a certain place, first thing is the place becomes clean because of their purity. And if there's any misunderstanding between devotees in their heart, without the pure devotee even saying a word, the entire episode of misunderstanding is dissipated. And at that point in time, I did not understand all this philosophy. But when Maharaj came in, he was meant to speak to the devotees. Maharaj didn't say anything. It's what we have all witnessed Maharaj do over the years. He came in and he paid obeisances to all the devotees. And that is the first time I ever saw a sannyasi paying obeisances to anyone. And that one act, without Maharaj saying anything, it just calmed the entire situation down. You did not have to know philosophy, but you knew that this personality had a lot of purity. And one personal exchange I had with Maharaj was, I was very always fascinated with this concept of austerity, because in my generation we are not acquainted with the concept, right? So we're not very austere. But whenever I saw Maharaj, he was very austere. If you see Maharaj over the years, the prasadam that he used to take, or the type of prasadam he used to take 10, 15 years ago, now he doesn't take that. He's become even more simpler. And the way he goes out to preach, he doesn't go out with an entourage. He goes out alone, as Prabhu said, in very challenging places. So once I went to Maharaj and I asked Maharaj, how should devotees give importance to austerity, and how should we perform austerity? And me, knowing Maharaj was very austere, I was expecting a technical answer on austerity. And Maharaj looked at me and said, it's not very important. He said, what is important is actually bhakti. Austerity is secondary. And one thing that really hit me is that Maharaj must have had great devotion in his heart for him to actually minimize the potency of austerity, which is important, but Maharaj had so much devotion in his heart. So we really pray today, Maharaj is here, I know he doesn't like to hear his glories, but we really pray that Maharaj will have a long life, good health, and continue inspiring us in devotional service. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki.
I'd like to invite Rupa Raghunath Prabhu. Sudarshan Prabhu, Haribol. Sudarshan Prabhu, please.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Tamal Krishna Goswami Te Name. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vigna Vinas Narasimha Goswami Maharaj Te Name. Dear Maharaj, on this most auspicious occasion of Your Holiness' divine appearance, we humbly offer our obeisances at Your lotus feet and express our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for Your extraordinary service to Srila Prabhupada and the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Your Holiness has dedicated your entire life to spreading Krishna consciousness throughout the world, especially through your historic and pioneering China mission. Your fluency in the Mandarin language, a service so dear to your heart, stands as a shining example of surrender and sacrifice in carrying out Srila Prabhupada's desire that Krishna consciousness be spread to every town and village. By your tireless efforts, countless souls have been connected to the lotus feet of Krishna and to Srila Prabhupada's family. In faithfully continuing the service of Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, you have preserved and expanded his legacy with deep responsibility and devotion. Your life exemplifies unwavering loyalty to Guru and the Parampara, and your steadfast determination continues to inspire devotees across generations. Despite your seniority and exalted position, your humility is beyond our comprehension. Seeing your holiness bow down to everyone, regardless of rank and position, teaches us by personal example what true Vaishnava character means. Your natural compassion draws people to you, and through your gentle words and loving engagement, you connect each and every soul you meet to Krishna and Srila Prabhupada's mission. Even in this advanced age and amidst many challenges, Your Holiness continues to inspire both young and old by your steadiness, wisdom, and enthusiasm for devotional service. For more than 20 over years, we have been immensely blessed to receive your kind association, guidance, and shelter, which we treasure as one of the greatest gifts of our lives. On this sacred Vyasa Puja day, with this opportunity to offer you our thanks for your merciful association and loving care, we pray for many more years of good health so that you may continue to guide, inspire, and uplift countless conditioned souls. We humbly beg for your continued association, blessing, and causeless mercy on this auspicious appearance day. Your menial servant, Sudarshan Das Acharya. There was once Maharaj actually came home, and at the time the boys were too small, and I think one of them was in the national service. And Maharaj just approached them, and immediately they could connect. And Maharaj could just simply engage them in service, just like that. Within few minutes, I was very apprehensive. I said, how are they going to behave towards him? He's such an advanced person, and so on and so forth. Maharaj just simply cut it down. He was like talking to a colleague, just like that. So that is the speciality of Maharaj, being able to bestow his mercy upon every living entity. So His Holiness Bhakti Vikram Vinas Narasimha Goswami Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. If you don't mind, I may first pay respectful obeisance to you first, then I start. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakya Shaksharo Malitam Jnana Tasme Shri Karve Namaha. Om Namo Shivaya Krishna Prashtha Krishmati Bhakti Vikram Vinas Narasimha Maharaj iti namane. Namo Shivaya Krishna Prashtha Krishmati Bhakti Vedanta Swami namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravari Pracharne Nirvesesya Swanyabadi Pashta Rishtane. Maharaj, thank you so much for making the time join with us. I'm sure Devin and Prabhu has to thank you, but I wouldn't, go into that too much. I'm just going to read an offering to you, which is, I believe this is very across all of our God siblings, and I'm sure it will resonate the same. I will, and maybe a small anecdote, just to maybe an opportunity like this, very rare, and ask me forgiveness. On your 77 Vyasa Puja, we offer our thankfulness with ever in debt to you for bringing us under your wings. Often we are distracted to our earthly problems and desires, but with your endless mercy and understanding, as a spiritual father, you take us back towards our destination, or where we should be proceeding towards too. You have seen and realized the absolute truth, which is hard for us to grasp, to put into practice. But your patience and loving nature protected us despite all our mistakes, one that only loving parents can do. We have offended you in so many ways, yet you have shown only compassion and love. And after more than a decade taken initiation from you, we are now realizing the truth slowly as the Lord reveals this as soon as some dirt is washed from our hearts due to material conditioning and contamination accumulated over so many ways how the Lord uses His anointed teachers to guide the lost souls like us, and willing to take the sins of the misguided souls and which is showing off an exemplary Vaishnava like you. And these traits are evident in your discipline and dedicated sadhana. The promise Krishna makes to us that ensure there be a few and rare souls like you who will take the burden of our sins and guide us back to the spiritual path journey. As we realize the sacrifice from you, we want to take this human life more seriously day by day in this material body. We embark our remaining time in future birth under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, exalted Vaishnavas, Gurus, Goswamis, and to reach as many souls as possible to hear this message from Krishna which you have continuously preaching in your unflinching service, so we can all come up from this samsara. Please bless us in our journey and mission under your supervision and guidance. On your auspicious 77 Vyasa Puja, we seek from all Vaishnavas to pray for your good health, safe travels, and blissful spiritual practice, serving Srila Prabhupada's mission. Hare Krishna and His Holiness Bhakti Vignu Maharaj ki Jai. Maharaj, just a quick anecdote that I want to share with you. Like I said, I would like to say forgiveness. I still remember at this one of your trip to Singapore when you wanted to change the fonts of your some of your PowerPoint slides, and I had a way to change them, and it took some time to actually cover all the slides, a massive number of slides, and we had to change the fonts because I think you moved to another laptop. And I was quite serious trying to finish it as much as I can. I took it as a big service. I think that's where the ego set in me slowly. Anyhow, so I think one of the days I was trying to finish it as soon as I can in the morning. And as you all know how you take your chanting very seriously in the mornings. And you wake up as many of us are still sleeping or trying to catch up or sleep, and we are so attached to this body, right? So, but you are there chanting the holy name very seriously. And we don't see how this is a importance. I mean, there's 3 stages of chanting the holy name. And we are still in the stage of, chanting it with offenses, a very mechanical chanting, trying to come out of it, going to the next level of power. But we know where your level is, and only after that, because I didn't realize at the point you were chanting so seriously, I was distracting you and asking you for your password on the laptop, so that I can do this great service, so I could make the changes and you could take this updated slides for your training and whatsoever. But I felt that I was doing something great, and I felt at the time I needed your time to unlock the laptop while you are finishing a round. And I came to you and said, Prabhu, I need to finish this round. I didn't feel how important it was. I felt a bit sad. And then after that, say, fine, I will like Maharaj to finish his rounds. And then when you were ready, you would actually unlock the laptop, and I was finishing it. I was a bit upset. I think when I served you for lunch later on the day, I think you felt bad for probably scolding me. Then you try to keep. So that shows how. And at that point in time, I didn't realize what mistake I've done when you were actually chanting the holy name, at what stage you are in the holy name. And I don't want to go into details because that's a huge lecture by itself, but I realized which level you're in, and me distracting you, connecting to the Supreme Lord. And we know what happens in that stage where Krishna is there with you as you chant, and me thinking that I'm actually doing this service for you, and my service is important, and took that as like something I should be asking you to take the time to unlock your passwords. Like, I think it's just not right. So then I realized it only after many years, really. So it's how it took time, but still you are very patient with us, and I think many of us as brothers and sisters, we all went through this moments, and we thank you for being there and being very merciful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vikna Vinashana Shima Iti Namini. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. On this auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja, I would like to offer my heartfelt gratitude for your continued guidance and shelter in my spiritual life. I first met you about 3 decades back. Since then, the consistency in which you practice or the teachings of Srila Prabhupada with simplicity, without compromise and without deviation is truly inspiring. Through your words and more importantly through your personal examples, you teach us how devotional service is meant to be practiced. Guru Maharaj, your preaching is deeply compassionate and firmly grounded. You never dilute the message, yet you present it in a way that is accessible and relevant to people from all backgrounds. By doing so, you continue to touch the hearts of devotees and non-devotees alike. Hence, you guide many of us towards a purposeful life centered on the service of Krishna and his devotees. We feel very grateful to be among those who have received your care and guidance, recognizing how rare such shelter truly is. The following statement from Srila Prabhupada's purport of Bhagavad Gita 3.29 reminds me of you. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they are even to the point ignorant men acts of Krishna consciousness which are absolutely necessary for the human being. Guru Maharaj, you are a living example of this. You have fully realized the mission of Lord Krishna and your spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. Accordingly, you willingly take all kinds of risks to spread Krishna consciousness for the welfare of all without discrimination. I pray for your continued mercy so that I may remain in the association of devotees, develop a deeper attachment to hearing and reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Please give me the ability to remember your instructions, the humility to accept corrections, and the determination to continue in devotional service. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for your compassion and continued guidance. I seek forgiveness for my offenses and pray that I may somehow become a useful instrument in your service. Your humble servants, Bajaridas, Dila Sundari, Krishna, and Yaramai.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Narishma Swami. Maharaj, please accept this simple offering. Maharaj, on this auspicious day, Gurudev, to glorify you is to recognize a life completely surrendered to the service of Srila Prabhupada as well as the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are deeply revered within ISKCON as a beacon of unwavering devotion and powerhouse of spiritual knowledge. As a preacher, you endeavor to preach in difficult terrains, in places where spiritual life is often restricted, such as Russia and China, displaying the true spirit of Krishna consciousness. And for the benefit of the rest, I would like to also say something. I quote Maharaj, we use Srila Prabhupada's book, we stick to Srila Prabhupada's instructions, we quote Srila Prabhupada as the standard. That's what Maharaj says. Gurudev, I admire your life as a living testament to walking the talk. My family and I are grateful for your love and guidance. I am deeply indebted to you for accepting me as your disciple. We pray to Krishna to always keep you in good health. Your menial servant, Srinivas Govindadas. Now I call upon Padmalacha Babu. Brother Babu.
Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev. On this most auspicious occasion of your Vyasa Puja, I offer my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. I always feel completely inadequate and short of words when trying to express my heartfelt gratitude to you. By your causeless mercy, you have given us your warm shelter and are compassionately guiding us on the path of Krishna consciousness. Whenever I hear the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari, I am reminded of you, Gurudev. You not only teach these exalted principles but live them through your own exemplary conduct. Through your actions, you show us the true meaning of humility, tolerance, and selfless devotion. Gurudev, I am still very far from attaining such qualities, yet by your blessings and mercy, I aspire to develop even a small percentage of these Vaishnava qualities. Last year, when you led the Gauramandal Parikrama Yatra, I had a strong desire to participate, but was unable to do so due to family commitments. Still, by your mercy, through the Yatra video coverage, I was able to hear your classes and understand the significance of each holy place and receive wonderful darshan of Dham. This made me feel virtually connected to the Yatra and greatly deepened my longing to personally visit those sacred places. By your permission and blessings, we were later able to travel to Navadip Dham after God Purnima. We were especially fortunate to receive your blessings in Kolkata before beginning our journey. We clearly experienced that a Dham Yatra becomes truly meaningful and successful only when undertaken with the blessings and permission of one's spiritual master. Although we had no fixed plans, everything unfolded perfectly and we received far more than we had even desired. We understand that this was solely due to your mercy, Gurudev. You constantly emphasize the importance of improving our chanting, serving the Vaishnavas, and regularly reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Gurudev, I am sincerely trying to follow your instructions, knowing fully well that without your mercy it is not possible. I deeply desire to develop genuine love and taste for chanting the holy names, and I earnestly pray at your lotus feet for your compassion and mercy. Kindly bless me that I may improve in these areas and become more sincere in my devotional service. On this sacred day, I seek forgiveness at your lotus feet for any offenses I may have committed, knowingly or unknowingly. Please continue to shower your family with your blessings and causeless mercy. Your insignificant servant, Rameti Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please accept humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. I wish you a very happy happiness day, Srila Gurudev. While the year 2024 was spiritually and emotionally significant for us, as we are blessed with the opportunity to serve Srila Gurudev personally at our residence, the year 2025 was also memorable. By your causeless mercy, we are blessed to receive your darshans 4 times, once in Mayapur, once in Kolkata, once in Malacca, and once at Penang Airport. At the airport, I was waiting at the arrival simply to catch a glimpse of your darshan. That moment reminded me of how probably child Parikshit, upon coming out of the womb, would carefully examine everyone to see whether they were the same personality he had seen while in the womb. When I finally saw you arrive, I became completely numb. So many stalwart devotees had come to receive you, and I felt totally lost in the crowd. By the mercy of our dear God sister, Nitai Priya Mataji, who called out to catch your attention and brought me within your arm's distance, and I was blessed to receive all the attention from your merciful glance. Guru Maharaj, I have one more thing to share. Every year, I am blessed with the wonderful seva of compiling the Vyasa Puja offering book. Each time I am left wonderstruck by the depth of love, surrender and dedication our God siblings have for you. Seeing their devotion makes me realize how far I am from such a standard. I humbly beg for your blessings and mercy that I may develop a sincere service attitude to serve and please Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. On this auspicious Vyasa Puja day, I want to offer our small offering at your lotus feet. I don't have the right qualifications or words, but I wanted to share what Renuka and I genuinely felt, especially during the recent South India Yatra. The strongest feeling I had during the Yatra was gratitude and also inspiration. I was so inspired seeing how you take full confidence and solace in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even when your health was not good at the beginning of the Yatra, you still continued conducting classes and you stayed with us. Honestly, just seeing this increased our faith in the scripture. I kept thinking again and again how fortunate we are to be in your association during the Yatra. There was a moment when I really felt Guru Maharaj is actually carrying us even when he himself is not well. You could have traveled separately in a private car for comfort, but you still wanted to be with all of us in the same vehicle, in the same bus. That one thing touched our heart. It showed how much you want to give association and to be with devotees. Guru Maharaj, one thing I always notice is you always run away from moments of glorification. This is one rare moment where we are actually seeing you sitting and accepting your disciples' glorification. So you're always running away from moments of glorification. When I asked Guru Maharaj about the Vyasa Puja celebrations, you said very directly, no, I'm not very comfortable with all of this. You always want us to just glorify Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. This quality teaches us what real humility is. You always have time for everyone, and you always encourage devotees, even when we are not qualified. During the yatra, we saw how you were chanting and dancing in Harinam so enthusiastically. At Rameshwaram Dham, even a beggar was so touched by your chanting and dancing and your simplicity that she gave a donation for book distribution. She gave the donation for book distribution to Guru Maharaj. And she wanted to take a picture with Guru Maharaj. That really stayed with me. It reminded me that pure devotion touches everyone's heart. We were all so amazed seeing your curiosity and interest in the history of each of the Divya Desam temples. Always giving a keen ear to details shared by the locals, the history, how the temples evolved over time, and what its significance is. Even in a busy yatra, you were always so present and so interested to hear. I still remember the visit to Trichy temple and your mood to understand everything properly. The local hosts were also very touched by your simplicity, Guru Maharaj. One small moment I remember clearly is when the host sat down next to you while I was taking a group picture, and you also sat down next to him. It was such a simple act, but it showed your humility and how you want to make everyone feel very, very, very comfortable. Guru Maharaj, Renuka and I, we have so many faults. I know the issues we have. Our sadhana is not serious. I get distracted, and I know I commit so many offenses. Sometimes we even feel shy to approach you, thinking we might be offensive in our attitude. But Guru Maharaj, you're always making it so easy for us. You always make us feel comfortable and encouraged. Because of that, we don't lose hope. On this Vyasa Puja day, our sincere prayer is that we can actually live your instructions. Please forgive our offenses and our mistakes, and please keep us under your shelter and continue to guide us. Your servants Renuka Devi Dasi and Padmalochan Krishna Das. I'll now call Ambrish Prabhuji.
Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Viknavinasa Narasimha Namine. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy Vyasa Puja. Dear Guru Maharaj, you have been an inspiration to us to improve ourselves in our service to Krishna. We feel very inspired to see you spread Krishna consciousness in very harsh Western and Eastern countries and in rural regions. You truly live and breathe the words of Mahaprabhu and have shown us the true meaning of humbleness and respect. Your spiritual yatras to difficult places like Ahobalam have shown us your determination and endeavor, even in your advanced age, to spread Krishna consciousness as per Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Your simple and easy to understand lectures deliver the message of Krishna to all ages. You have inspired my mom, who went on the yatra last year, and she has recently undertaken the disciple course. Gurudev, we feel truly blessed and are eternally grateful for your kindness and mercy that you have continually shown on us and our family. We pray to Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani to always keep you in good health so that you can continue to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. Your unworthy servants, Ambrish Das, Prema Padmini Devi Dasi, Saraswati Mataji and Harini.
Maharaj, so these are the disciples who have come forward to make their offerings to you. Initially, we were told that it may be you may not want to hear because you are very humble and you have not actually given them that chance. But today, thank you for being so kind, so patient, and for hearing all of us, Maharaj. And we pray to see you in Singapore, and we pray for your blessings to continue in the yatra, so that everyone will be peaceful and blissful in Krishna consciousness. And we wish you a wonderful and blissful Vyasa Puja, and we pray to be your servants, Maharaj.
So thank you all very much, and thank you all for serving Srila Prabhupada's mission. Certainly without your help, could not do anything. So I very much appreciate all of your kind services. And please continue there to develop our preaching in Singapore. It's very dear to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Thank you, Maharaj. We'll be going offline now, Maharaj, for this lecture.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinash Nrsimha Maharaj ki.